Good morning, 988. How can I help you?
Just 3 numbers can connect you with life-saving help. In fact, 988, the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, has now been in place for a year. And already, specialists have handled more than 5 million calls, chats, and texts from people in need.
Good morning, 988. How can I help you?
Just 3 numbers can connect you with life-saving help. In fact, 988, the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, has now been in place for a year. And already, specialists have handled more than 5 million calls, chats, and texts from people in need. We've talked about 988 on this program before. When it launched, there were some worries funding would run out. Now, the concern is more about making sure people know that this life-saving resource is out there. And plans are already in the works to make it more accessible.
What we continue to do at 988 is try to build out the capacity with people that are very similar in circumstance to those that are calling in.
More than 200 independent crisis centers make up 988, including at least 6 community mental health centers in our area. Laura Moyer is with Compass Health Network. She's Missouri's 988 Task Force Chair. Thanks for coming back to get to the heart of such an important issue. It's good to have you here. The last time we talked, 988 was really just getting going. We're a few months in. How would you grade the first year? What are the challenges? What are the opportunities right now?
Yeah, so I would actually give Missouri an A in preparation and readiness in providing the seed funding to really create the infrastructure and workforce to support it. So we have surpassed our goal. Our goal in July was to hit a 90% in-state answer rate. We are now successfully at 94%. And so we really contribute that to our centers stepping up and also being creative in how they are hiring their workforce. Are there still some challenges that we need to overcome? 100%. There are still some shifts that are a little bit harder to fill, but we've really embraced the virtual world of the workforce, and so oftentimes our universe has been able to expand to the whole state when we're hiring for these positions.
How big of a staffing issue are you dealing with right now?
I would say that for the most part, I would think that everyone is at about a 70% fill in their open position. So there's still a good 30% that we need to get onboarded.
And calls aren't going unanswered though, right?
Right. So we, like I said, we're actually currently the top in the nation. So we are the #1 state in the nation based on our call volume. To have the highest answer rate. So 94% is our current answer rate.
For in-state, and then let's say if there is a staffing issue, these calls can be moved to out-of-state operators, specialists, that sort of thing?
Correct.
Okay.
So there is a national backup line that all calls that don't get answered in-state roll to.
Gotcha.
So they're not going unanswered by any means.
Okay. I know that there have been a lot of additions too. There's the mobile crisis response teams.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that and how that's going.
Yeah, so mobile crisis is so integral into really impacting our first responder system and really being able to unnecessarily, people are not having to unnecessarily go to the emergency rooms or interact with police. So about 10% of our current calls coming in really need a more enhanced response. So they need somebody who is well trained to go where they're at in the moment and help de-escalate the crisis that they're experiencing and really avoid those more costly resources like an ambulance and going to the emergency room that often doesn't get the result that they need.
Let's talk about recognition and just recognition of this resource. There was a recent poll out that showed only about 13% of Americans know about 988. That has to grind your gears a little bit. How do you change that? How do you get more exposure here?
Especially being that person who has done 988 presentations.
Right.
It's a real struggle, and it's also an opportunity. So nationally, we're trying to get our state percentage, but still it's likely low. Mm-hmm. So how do we get the message out? How do we tell everyone out there that when you are struggling with a behavioral health crisis, just call 988. It's going to take everyone to really inform our community.
Right, and word of mouth too, and,
Yeah.
and proof of success
Yes.
too, I think will help a lot. And just coming on, so Lauren Moyer, we really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And remember, help is out there. You can call or text 988 anytime. Lifeline is answered 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can also chat online, as Lauren said, with a mental health professional at 988lifeline.org.